The Intercept had an article a few days ago about this Peter Theil fellow who is basically got funding from Thiel's organization in order to help his startup grow. He was branded as a social impact investor in the wake of the Las Vegas mass shooting because he lent his robot technology to cops who were investigating that shooting, which we still do not have much clarity on, by the way, but that's beside the point. So, like, when you get branded as such, he was featured in Forbes' 30 Under 30 for social impact. Everybody's clapping him on the back. I mean, it's
he used the Las Vegas thing as a marketing opportunity.
And he was 18 years old, so he's one of those freaks who is trying to make it in the tech world, and he presented himself as like one of the moral guys who's going to help track down this mass shooter. However, his pitch that was recently uncovered by immigrant rights group Vigeland, and now it was included in this Intercept piece as well, doesn't necessarily present him as the pro-human rights tech guy that he tried to portray himself as. Again, this is somebody who is in the Peter Thiel world and the kind of technology that Thiel is promoting. He proposed a wall of drones, I believe he called it, along the southern border to the Trump administration. Drones that would tase people trying to cross the border. Here is his little pitch that was included in the Intercept piece on this.
This is one of the most desolate parts of our southern border. Every year, over $100 billion worth of narcotics and 500,000 people flow through areas just like this one. There's no wall here, and it probably wouldn't work anyway because of the rough terrain and eminent domain issues. But there is a solution. This is the Brink drone, and it is just one part of a much larger system designed to fully secure the US-Mexico border. It's called the Wall of Drones. Each drone in the wall starts its day in a base station, where it's recharged using solar power. Then, the drone automatically takes off and goes on.
So people can just cross the border at night then? It's problem solved.
Solar power doesn't work at night.
Well, he said they have to they start their day, so there is an end to their shift, which means it's apparently a time when they're not being run.
One has to assume that the Taser robot drones have overlapping shifts, like, you know, guards at a museum. Although I will say it's very distracting how much he looks like the actor Simon Farnaby. I don't know, no one's going to know who that is besides me and like one person watching, but like, yeah, he looks just like that guy.
I mean, he has
Simon
the hair.
Farnaby?
It's like Jonah Hill's haircut from Superbad, but that's really all.
Oh, right. This guy, yes, he looks like him. He got the hair though. He doesn't really have the face though, but yeah.
It is a Jonah Hill though. I mean, can we connect these things to like oil derrick? Like, what's with this candy ass solar power we're using on this stuff?
I know, right? Yeah, like maybe that's why the Trump administration didn't go for it.
Who is this weirdo?
Yeah, I know. He wants to use the sun to power these drones.
Anyway, we got to see the how like they're armed.
Yeah, keep going.
Wall starts its day in a base station, where it's recharged using solar power. Then, the drone automatically takes off and goes on patrol towards the next base station in the line. It follows a pre-programmed flight path and uses its high-definition camera and thermal imager to look for intruders. When the drone detects an intruder, control of the drone is shifted to a human operator at a nearby border control office. Then, the controller pilots the aircraft down and interrogates the suspicious person.
This is U.S. Border Patrol. Identify yourself.
My name's Jose.
What are you doing out here?
Taking walk.
Do you have any identification on hand?
That's identification.
Stop moving your traffic gun or you will be tased.
He should have just shot, honestly. Should have came out blasting. That was it.
Oh my God.
After border agents arrive and the perpetrator is safely restrained, the drone flies off to complete its patrol. So, the wall of drones is made up of hundreds of drones and base stations like these, strategically placed along the border. It can actively respond to threats, monitor the whole border with video surveillance, and physically prevent criminals from entering the United States. It's also just about 300 times less expensive than a physical wall, and it can be implemented in much less time. Wall of drones technology can also be used to secure prisons, oil pipelines, data centers, and many other sensitive locations. In short, Brink is the future of international and domestic border control. For more information, please go to brinkdrones.com.
Hey, do you need one of those giant friggin' table machines for each drone? That was one drone sitting in there. I was expecting a whole bunch to fly out. That just doesn't seem very
No, the drone goes out of there and then flies to the next one as the other one replaces the other one. I mean, I get that part of it, I guess, but
if you're crossing the border, you just need to
shoot the drone.
Shoot the drone. Well, he had the gun, and
yes,
remember?
Why would you threaten the drone?
Right?
Yeah,
pretty easy to pull the trigger on a non-living robot. I mean, come on.
Kill you, drone.
Let's just point out like why they needed that in the script, because if the guy said, "I'm Jose, I'm up for a walk," and didn't pull out the gun and then was tased, it would have looked even worse than the still dystopian cartoon that it looked like.
Yeah, nice touch naming himself as Jose there.
Exactly, and it honestly looks like something out of like some sort of like 2003 spoof on America like movie.
I just want to congratulate.
Also, no, go ahead.
I was gonna say I want to applaud them for showing restraint in their actor not being like an MS-13 style, like, you know, just literally tatted up like a Mexican guy. Just like they really showed restraint by just naming him Jose, and we should acknowledge that because they could have made it way more racist.
But he was wearing glasses, so kind of scary.
Also, definitely nothing will go wrong with like the audio, the very important audio aspect of this. Like, no way the transmission won't be good, and they'll ask for this person to show identification, and they'll be talking to you to show that they're allowed to be there. And there's some sort of, I don't know, static or white noise, and you can't hear. And all of a sudden you're tasing a completely unarmed, innocent person. I mean, ridiculous. Ridiculous.
It just seems like this is like a piece of evidence that a lot of what we've been told about like foreign policy, like drone warfare and surveillance and stuff like that, like being dichotomous with like domestic policy, it was a joke, obviously, but you can really see in the way we have militarized the border and the technology we have adopted for the border and for a few other like, you know, politically problematic populations in America, how we're just slowly infusing some of these like more and more weapon technologies that were supposed to stay in areas of like the Middle East, which they don't belong either, obviously, are just coming home. Like, I like the places that he named where this kind of technology will be needed. It's like, oh yeah, you know, the Mexican-American border, or pipelines where there might be protesters, or any number of places where there might be unrest domestically that might, you know, be politically unadvantageous. It's like, it's a very clear signal that we're moving a lot of these more severe and more like dystopian technology systems back home, and it all took was like a few decades after they were launched overseas.
Tiger swans like licking their lips when they're seeing that kind of stuff.
I haven't been able to get Peter Thiel on the phone for my invention, which is a drone that basically hovers around executive suites and tases owners of businesses when they avail of undocumented labor or engage in wage theft.
Could we not use this wall of drones to like deliver tests to all Americans, or like food or something, like in order to like prevent contact between people infected with COVID or not? Like, are there not bigger issues that this technology might be able to solve more effectively?
To be fair to Blake Resnick, the Peter Thiel fellow, that pitch likely wouldn't have gone over well with Donald Trump, if that's what this video was for.
Yeah, that's the point, right? Like, this was meant to be for Donald Trump, but I like to imagine the pitch meeting where he's like, but it's not a physical wall. It doesn't have an actual moat with alligators in front of it. It's just
no deal.
Yeah, you know, honestly, I think that. Go ahead.
No, go on.
I was gonna say, I think this pitch is more like geared towards Democrats, like in their technocratic style. Like, we're not gonna have a real wall. We're gonna have a digital wall. We're going to have like a wall of drones, and it's going to be a lot more humane because people in America won't have to feel like there's a wall dividing them from Mexico, which they should be allowed to go in. The drones will be more like Ed 09 from RoboCop. They'll be able to tell who it is, who's not undocumented worker quite easily, and it won't, ruin your view. So it feels much more like a out of sight, out of mind problem, which is, I think, more of a Democrat style of like policing the border. He should have, geared it more towards, painted the drones with like an LGBTQ flag, add like a BLM sticker to the bottom of it, and we just pitch it right to like Kamala Harris.
No, you're absolutely right. Like
the borders are.
We need to make sure that Eric Adams does not hear about this technology because
that it's the robot dogs on the ground and the tasing drones in the air.
It's like absolutely.